Right, so the Springboks. Oh, who's got their phone? So the Springboks have got their first game of the November internationals. Now, you may notice something wrong with me. Pretty much we're filming on Halloween, but only one of us has dressed up. What's up with that, Tim?
I wish I had a pumpkin or at least something I could dress up in, but we're gonna let you carry the Halloween theme, okay? Like you.
Thank you. I'm not gonna wear these for the rest of the video. We might try a couple South African names with them in, or else they're gonna drive everyone absolutely insane. But we're going to be predicting the Springboks lineup for their first test match up against the Irish. It's a big game to start off for the Boks, but we will jump straight into it. Front row, who have you gone with as your starting Springbok front row for this Irish test match?
Yeah, so for my front row, I've gone with the likes of Stephen Kitsoff at number 1. For number 2, I've gone with Malcolm Marks. And at number 3, I've gone with Frans Malherbe. So, kind of the usual suspects, at least, in that front row.
Okay, well, I actually have a little bit of a change here for my front row. I have actually put in Oxnashare as number 1. I've gone with Bongi Mbonambi at number 2. Reason being, my bench, I'm really stacking them up against the Irish. I think South Africa want to finish this match extremely well. They've got the capabilities of pushing the Irish early, but if they have those guys who can finish a game, likes of Kitsoff, likes of Malcolm Marks, maybe, will give them just that little bit of an edge near the end. And then at number 3, I have also, like yourself, got Frans Malherbe. But now looking through at the locks, no surprises here. I've got Eben Etzebeth as my number 4. I feel like he is definitely the first choice option there. And then number 5, it will be Ludiacha as my other lock. Yeah, no, I've got the exact same two as you, with Eben Etzebeth number 4 and Lord Diego, of course, number 5. So kind of expected in that sense, but with them two obviously have the most experience and have played really, I think, the most with each other actually out of the group of locks they have at the moment. So those are my 2 locks. Alrighty. Well, I noticed I'm not centralized, so just
He's a count, mate. He's a count.
There you go. But now we will look through at the loose forward trio. Who have you got there?
Yeah, so for the loose forward trio, I have gone with the likes of Sia Khaleesi at number 6. For number 7, I've actually gone with Franco Mostert at number 7. I think he was utilized a lot within the Rugby Championship within that position, so I feel that they may go with him once more. And for number 8, I've gone with Jasper Wiese at number 8. Again, I wanted to maybe go with someone a bit different, maybe like Evan Roux, maybe, because we haven't seen much of him within the Springbok kind of team at the moment, but I think Wiese just has a ton of experience under his belt so far and is getting a bit more games under his belt. So that's the reason why I've gone with him there.
Okay, so similar to yourself, I have got Sia Khaleesi as number 6. I assume both of us have got him as our captain for this first match up against the Irish.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely. Yeah. Awesome. Number 7, I've gone with Peter Steph de Toy rather than going with Franco Mostert. I think it could be either way. They may go with out of those two. And then I guess also another honourable mention for 7, maybe Quagga Smith. Could be a possibility in there at open side flank. And then number 8, like yourself, I have got Jasper Wiese. I'd like to see Ivan Roos get an opportunity, but I don't know whether they'll give him the chance in the very first game of the November internationals, although he's playing tremendously for the Stormers at the moment in the URC. So maybe they'll be looking to continue that form for him and get him back out there in the jersey relatively soon. Now looking through at the 9 and 10 combo. Now with no Hondre Pollard, it was always going to be a question mark of who we decided to go with at number 10. For myself, first at 9, I have actually gone Faf de Klerk. Now, it's not probably what I would go with personally, but I think it's what they may go with as their starting number 9. I think Hendrikse is a very decent option to start this match, but instead I think they'll go with de Klerk, have a little bit of that kicking game, play a bit of territory with the Irish early, and then have that running game, try and close out the matchup. And then number 10, I have gone with Damian Willemse as my fly half option. The Stormers representative, he can play 10, he can play 15 if he needs to, if they want to have a bit of a reshuffle, maybe a little bit of a prelude to what I've got coming off my bench. But it's going to be number 10, Damian Willemse.
Yeah, no, similar to yourself, I've gone with the likes of Faf de Klerk, number 9. I wanted to go with him. Just again, it's a tough call really, because Jenny Hendricks has actually played very well for the Boks recently. And we have to mention, of course, Cobus Linux as well. You know, he's also in the discussion. But Faf de Klerk, I just think, you want that experience under your belt, and he brings a lot of that obviously on the table. So that's the reason why I'm going with him there. And for number 10, I have also gone with Damian Williams. It was a tough call because, again, we do have the debutant. Well, if I wanted to kind of introduce him at the start with Libbok. But I think it's a bit too early to make him have his starting debut, particularly against Ireland as well. So I think Williams is just a bit more. I think he'll be able to kind of be up to the task essentially. And obviously, we did see him actually play number 10, I believe, against the Pumas, if I'm not mistaken, in that Rugby Championship. So he's done that previously in the past. So hopefully he can kind of work his magic at least.
Alrighty, so now we move on to the centre combination. Also another injury here for the Springboks. No Lucanio arm, which did mean we're going to have a bit of a gap there at number 13. Who have you got as your 12 and 13 combo?
Yeah, no, it's unfortunate we don't have Lucanio because again, he would just be a name literally straight into the starting lineup. To be perfectly honest, arguably the best 13 in the world, as most of you know. But for number 12, I mean, I have to go with Damien Delende. I think that's an easy selection there. Very, very experienced in that position for the Boks. But number 13, though, it's a tough call because you have probably two notable names with Esterhazen as well as Jesse Klill. But I'm actually going with Jesse Klill in this position, just because I think he kind of worked. They've worked a lot in that partnership, I'd say, towards the end of the Rugby Championship, and I feel they may continue that going into the Autumn Nations. So that's my my combination.
Alrighty, and it's a very similar combination to myself. Identical, in fact. I have gone Damien Delende number 12, Jesse Kriel number 13, Sasha Ngome Zulu was going to be another option that we could have gone with maybe in that midfield combination. And a couple of those other players, someone like a Kurtley Arons. I don't know whether or not they would put him in the centres as of yet, but seeing as we've got a return out on the wing, maybe it's getting a little bit harder to get those minutes out there on the wing. Perhaps a bit of a reshuffle could be coming in the future. In fact, I think he was playing a bit of fullback, if I'm not wrong, in the URC recently. So maybe that will be the position he could go to next. Looking through at the back three, though, now. Makazole Mapimpi, I think he's pretty much got this number 11's jersey secured at this point in time. He hasn't not been in a starting lineup for the Springboks in a very long time.
Exactly.
So I don't see it changing now, even with the man at number 14 returning, Cheslin Colby. He has been missing for a very long time. In all of those games that Makazole Mapimpi has been starting, Cheslin Colby has been MIA. Unfortunately, we haven't seen him in action. He's finally back, and hopefully he does manage to give a very good performance here up against the Irish. I believe one of the last times we saw him in action would have been the British and Irish Lions tour.
It was, yeah.
That's a long time ago.
A very long time.
And then at number 15, I feel like the fangs are kind of useful for this one. Willie LaRue is going to be my number 15. Willie LaRue, it's a very good name to say with the fangs. But I think he's going to be relatively handy at the back. It's actually very hard to talk with them. Anyone who's got fangs, I respect you even more now because this is tough. I was going to actually try and do the commentary with them, but it's not happening. I think Willie LaRue is the player who he's probably the one who's going to get sacrificed a little bit in terms of when they make a sub. I would say it's going to be maybe a fly half replacement and then or a reshuffle at the back, and Willie LaRue will be the player who actually goes off because a lot of these other players are pretty hard to replace. Like we mentioned, Makazole Mapimpi normally gets to play the full 80 minutes. Damien Willemse, the form he's in, he's almost got to play the full 80 unless there is an injury or something along those lines. So, Willie LaRue is my number 15.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Again, we seem to be just going with the same players, and we've done it once more. I've gone with the exact same kind of backline there with you, obviously, within the last three, with, of course, Makazole Mapimpi at number 11 spot, Cheslin Kobe at number 14, and official, of course, Willie LaRue at 15. So I guess no changes in that front. I think it's just the most comparable backline they have in terms of the Boks, and probably the one we're most familiar with, as that was the one I believe they went with in the World Cup final. It feels like a long time ago since that day happened. But
do you remember the score though?
Of course, mate. 32-12. It's stuck in the head, mate. It's stuck in the head. But hopefully we can get similar results maybe in the upcoming World Cup. We'll wait and see. But no, that's what I've gone with for the backline now.
Alrighty, so now we move on to the replacement bench. Now you already know a couple of my players, but who have you got as those front row replacements for yourself?
Yeah, so I've gone with the return of the one man with Bongi, of course, at number 16 there. So very happy that he's obviously back in the Bok frames at least. Obviously with the injury he had, he wasn't really available for the Rugby Championship. So happy for his return really. Obviously for the replacement props, I've come with Oxen Che at the number 16 position. And for number 17, I've gone with Trevor Kanye there. So yeah, a bit of a shuffle. I wanted to actually go with Nkanye actually to start because again, Francois Herbert has actually been starting a lot for the Boks. But I just felt, Nkanye deserved a bit of justice in that sense. And I felt, maybe off the bench he could make an impact there. So, yeah, that's what I've gone with there.
Alrighty. And just to confirm, number 17, Oxley Shane, number 18, Trevor Nkanye?
Yes. I've switched it up. Yeah.
Sounds good. Now, for myself, number 16, I've got Malcolm Marks. Number 17, Stephen Kitsoff. Those two players in their own right can just add a huge amount of impact for the Springboks in the later stages of the game. Malcolm Marks, even if they brought him on at halftime, I think he would still be extremely dangerous. Then number 18, I've actually gone with Vincent Koch, mainly because that's the bomb squad that we know and love. Those three coming off the bench. I decided not to break them up, and that's why Vincent Koch is my number 18. Now looking through at the rest of my replacement forwards, I have gone with a 5-3 split here in this game up against Ireland, which means I've only got the two other replacement forwards. Number 19, Franco Mostert. Even though they've got a whole heap of locking options, I still see them going with an extra loose forward trio option, just in case they do need to replace Peter Steph du Toit relatively early. And then number 20, I have gone with Clocker Smith as my last forward replacement.
I feel like we're gonna have the exact same squad. Like literally, it's just like these little names that just misplay, obviously just in and out. But yeah, I've gone with Peter Steph du Toit and the number 19 position for the exact same reason as you. Obviously, you can play as lock or obviously kind of a loose forward in the same sense. And yeah, I've gone with Clocker Smith at number 20. So I've also gone with a 5-3 split, by the way, guys. So it is a tough call because obviously the Boks are known for the 6-2 splits, but I believe for this game they have a lot more backs to kind of utilize. So that's the reason why I guess we've both gone with a 5-3 split.
Alrighty, so now we have got 3 positions left. The replacement backs, these guys, depending on how it goes, these 3 players could be maybe the deciding factor in this game. We've seen some close games of international rugby recently. Just look at Scotland versus Australia and New Zealand versus Japan. Little moments could decide a game. So with that being said, who are your replacement backs for the Boks?
Yeah, so for number 21, I've gone with the likes of Jaden Hendrickse, as he will be my kind of replacement, obviously scrum half. Again, could have gone with Kobe Slimek, but just going with Hendrickse just because of a bit more game time recently within the Rugby Championship. I've gone with Livok actually in the number 22 position, which I'm not sure if it's too early to do it, but I just feel like he's a 10. He's the cover obviously for Williamson. Obviously, if they want to make a switch, Williamson can go down to 15, take Rue off, obviously put him on at 10. So maybe a bit of switches what you were talking about earlier on. And to finish it off, I've gone with another return with Sobu Nkosi because obviously he's come back into the squad now. I wanted to go actually with who was it with Kurt Lee Elarenza, but I just felt Nkosi kind of deserves a bit more. Well, I want to see him get some minutes earlier on, so that's the reason why I've gone with him.
So for myself, 21 is identical. Jaden Hendrickse is there for me, and I think it was the same reasoning. They seem to be going with him a little bit more than Kobeth Reinach. As of late, Marnie Lebok, I am giving him his chance at number 22. It's a little bit of a risk from both of us here, having Marnie Lebok in so early, but luckily for us, he's been playing in the URC each and every week for the Stormers, and I think that's something that might help him out in terms of getting some minutes up against the Irish. And then at number 23, you mentioned how you were thinking about having him in there. I did have him in there, and that is Kirtley Ardenser as my number 23. So a few changes for ourselves, but overall, very similar mindset with the way that we've laid out our side up against the Irish. It's going to be a tough battle. It's going to be an entertaining one, though, and it is only just about 5 days away or so. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Do let us know who you think will be in that Springboks lineup. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to check out Rugbyitch. He may not have the fangs, but he's got quite the rugby brain on him. So be sure to check him out. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe like I mentioned. I'm going to go and suck some blood off a person.
Well, better not be me, mate. I definitely don't want that happening.
No, you're a bit far away. So it's not you.
A different part of the world.
Yes.
Again, I'm just trying to think of what did New Zealand do wrong when they played against Ireland.
A lot.